Israel was in hiding. The land that once overflowed with grain and vineyards was now scarred by fear. Every time the people planted crops, the Midianite armies swept in, taking everything. In secret caves and makeshift shelters, families whispered prayers for deliverance. Then one day, in a quiet valley, a man named Gideon was threshing wheat in a wine press, hiding from the enemy. It was a picture of survival, not victory. But heaven had other plans. An angel appeared and said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Gideon looked around, almost to see if someone else was there. Me? If the Lord is with us, why has all this happened? Where are his miracles? The angel replied simply, "Go in the strength you have. You will save Israel from Midian." Gideon's heart raced. He wasn't a soldier, he was just a man trying to get by. But somehow, in that moment, he knew this wasn't a mistake. Gideon's faith was small, but God met him there. He asked for a sign twice, actually. First, dew on the fleece, but not on the ground. Then, dew on the ground, but not on the fleece. And both times, God answered. It wasn't about testing God. It was about learning to trust him, step by step. Finally, Gideon gathered an army. 32,000 men answered his call. It was a start, until God said something that made no sense. "You have too many." Too many? Against an army as numerous as locusts? But God knew, if Israel won with a massive force, they'd take the credit. So Gideon announced, "Anyone afraid, you can go home." 22,000 men left. Just like that. 10,000 remained. And then God said again, "Still too many." Gideon led the men to a stream. God told him to watch how they drank the water. Most knelt, dropping their weapons to drink. But 300 stayed alert, scooping water with their hands while keeping their eyes up. And God said, "With these 300, I will deliver you." 300 against an army that covered the valley floor. It seemed impossible. But Gideon remembered, this battle wasn't his. That night, as the Midianite camp slept, God told Gideon to go down and listen. Quietly, he crept near the tents. He overheard two soldiers speaking. One said, "I had a dream. A loaf of barley bread rolled into our camp and struck the tent, so it collapsed." The other replied, "That can be none other than Gideon. God has given Midian into his hands." Gideon smiled in the dark. Fear melted into faith. He fell to his knees and whispered a prayer of worship. When he returned to his camp, he divided the 300 men into groups of 100. Each man carried a trumpet, a clay jar, and a torch hidden inside. No swords, no shields, just obedience. At midnight, they surrounded the enemy. At Gideon's signal, they blew their trumpets, smashed their jars, and raised their torches high. The night exploded with light and sound. "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon!" they shouted. The Midianites woke in chaos, panicked, and turned on each other. By sunrise, the mighty army that once terrified Israel was running in fear. 300 had done what thousands could not, because they trusted the one who called them. Gideon's story reminds us that God doesn't need big numbers or perfect people. He works with the willing, even those who feel unqualified. When life feels overwhelming, when the odds are stacked against you, remember this: victory doesn't always come through strength. Sometimes it comes through surrender. Because when God is with you, 300 is more than enough.